All right, let's dive into the Rolex Paris Masters.
Yeah.
We've got some incredible tennis to unpack. Our main source is this wild article from tennis.com about Ugo Humbert.
Yeah.
Yeah, Humbert pulling off this huge upset against Carlos Alcaraz. And we've got a whole stack of articles here, too. So we're going to go way beyond just like reporting the scores. We'll uncover all the stories, the rivalry, the big career moments, and, of course, that crazy race to the ATP finals.
Well, it is fascinating because we're talking about Carlos Alcaraz, the guy who just won Roland Garros in Wimbledon this year, being taken down by Humbert, a player that he'd already beaten twice before in 2024.
I know, right? It's like a total David and Goliath story in tennis, especially with how dominant Alcaraz has been all year.
Yep.
This article from tennis.com does such a good job of describing that final set. You can just feel that electricity. Under the lights in Paris, the home crowd going wild as Humbert battles the world number one.
And this wasn't just some lucky break or anything. Humbert came out strong, completely dominating that first set, 6-1.
Right.
Alcaraz did manage to fight back. He won the second set. But Humbert never lost his cool. He held on to take that final set 7-5, securing, what might be the biggest win of his career.
A real statement win for sure.
Yeah.
But it does make you think, right, is this a sign that Alcaraz is finally starting to feel the pressure? I mean, the guy has had an insane year. Roland Garros, Wimbledon, even the China Open. But then he loses in straight sets to Tomas Machak in Shanghai. And now this. Is it all catching up to him?
It's a good question. And remember, this is a tournament with huge implications. The top 8 players in the world battling it out. For the ultimate title, the ATP finals are like the pinnacle of men's tennis. Every match really counts if you want to get there.
Like the ATP finals. For anyone listening who might not be familiar, it's like the Super Bowl of men's tennis, where legends are made and rivalries are settled.
Exactly. And Alcaraz has been the clear favorite all year to win it all. But this loss to Humbert, it throws a wrench into everything. The race for the ATP finals is wide open now. We've got some other articles here that paint a crazy picture of what's happening in the rankings. Grigor Dimitrov is fighting like crazy to stay in contention. After barely getting by Etcheverry in his match, it was a real nail-biter.
And Alex de Minaur is moving up the leaderboard. He jumped over Andrei Rublev for that 8th spot after Rublev lost to Francisco Cerundolo.
It's interesting to see how differently players handle this pressure. In these high-stakes tournaments, Dimitrov seems to really thrive under pressure. But Rublev, on the other hand, well, let's just say his emotions got the better of him. He even got a code violation for smashing his racket.
Oh, yeah, I read about that. Talk about a meltdown. It really shows you just how much is on the line for these guys.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And speaking of high stakes, things just got even more interesting. With Jannik Sinner, the world number 1, withdrawing from the tournament.
Hold on, what? Sinner is out. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, it's true. He just won the 6-King Slam, which is just incredible. To win all 6 major hardcourt tournaments in a year is practically unheard of. It's like winning the Grand Slam of hardcourt tennis. But it seems like all that winning took a lot out of him. He's saying he needs to rest up before the ATP finals.
So with Sin out, this thing is even more unpredictable. But hey, amidst all this drama, we can't forget about Jordan Thompson. The guy's having an unbelievable tournament. He beat Casper Ruud, the number 7 seed, and then followed it up by taking down Adrian Manarino. Now he's in his first ever Masters 1000 quarterfinal.
It's a huge accomplishment, especially for a player who's been climbing the ranks, but hasn't quite broken through at this level yet. To reach the quarterfinals of a Masters 1000, it's a testament to his dedication and talent. And it just goes to show you, tennis can be so unpredictable. You just never know who's going to rise to the occasion and deliver these jaw-dropping performances.
Yeah, and you really never know.
Yeah.
It really is amazing to see someone like Thompson, breaking through like that. This whole tournament's been full of surprises. Speaking of which, we got to talk about Gael Monfils withdrawing. Sounds like it was a pretty tough decision for him.
Yeah, it was bittersweet for sure. This tournament, Paris-Bercy, it's always held a special place in Monfils' heart. He's had some amazing wins here over the years, and the crowd in Paris has always been so supportive. But, like he said in his statement, he felt like it was time to honor that, honor their shared story, and step aside.
Definitely the end of an era. But his legacy in Paris will live on for sure. But, okay, back to the drama of the tournament. Do you think Humbert's win over Alcaraz has, shifted the power dynamics in men's tennis? Could this be the beginning of the end for Alcaraz's dominance?
Well, it's possible. Alcaraz has been practically untouchable for so long that I think other players might have started to see him as invincible. But Humbert showed them that Alcaraz is human. He can be beaten. And that can have a huge impact on everyone, even Alcaraz himself.
So you're saying this loss could give other players more confidence? when they face Alcaraz in the future. Like, they won't be so intimidated anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It just injects a whole new level of uncertainty into every match. And for Humbert, this win could be a major turning point in his career. We know he's got the talent, but sometimes you just need that one big win to really light a fire, to believe in yourself.
And he did beat Alcaraz earlier this year at Wimbledon. So it's not like this was a fluke. He's proving he can compete with the best.
No doubt about it. This win in Paris could be what pushes him to the next level. Who knows, maybe we'll see him going for Grand Slam titles soon. But on the other side of the coin, we have to think about how Alcaraz will respond to this setback. He's still young, and he's already accomplished so much. But this loss, it might just light a fire under him, push him to train even harder and refine his game.
Yeah, maybe this loss will end up making him even stronger in the long run.
That's right. It's all about how he uses this experience. And let's not forget about the race for the ATP finals. This whole tournament has been a pressure cooker for these guys, trying to secure their spot in the top 8.
Yeah, the ATP finals, it's easy to get lost in the individual matches. But the big picture is all these results are affecting who gets to play for the biggest prize in tennis.
Absolutely. And with Sinner withdrawing, everything's changed. You've got guys like Dimitrov barely holding on to their spot, while others like de Minaur are making a late run. And then there's Rublev, whose frustration boiled over.
It's crazy to think that a code violation for smashing a racket could actually hurt his chances of making the ATP finals.
Oh, it definitely could. Everything matters at this level. It's not just about talent and skill. It's also about mental toughness.
Yeah.
And being able to handle the pressure.
Speaking of pressure, what about Humbert? Does this help his chances of getting to the ATP finals?
Well, it definitely puts him in a better position. He'll earn some valuable ranking points from this win, and he's already proven that he can beat the best.
So you're saying there's a chance, even if it's a long shot?
There's always a chance in tennis, especially with the way this tournament has been going. I wouldn't rule anything out.
It really feels like anything could happen. 1 minute Alcaraz is dominating, the next he's getting taken down by Humbert, and then Thompson comes out of nowhere to reach the quarterfinals.
Yeah, that's the beauty of this sport. It's unpredictable, it's exciting, it keeps you on the edge of your seat.
And that's what makes this deep dive so fun. We're not just, reporting scores. We're trying to unpack all the storylines, the strategies, the emotions behind it all.
I think that's what makes it so interesting for the listener. You get to go beyond just the surface level and really understand what's going on, with the players and the game itself.
Exactly. It's like you're right there on the court, feeling every single point. But okay, let's shift gears for a second and talk about the bigger picture.
What do you mean?
Well, we've been focused on all the drama of this tournament. But I'm curious what you think about the long-term implications of it all.
Okay. You're talking about the legacy of this tournament and how it's going to shape the future of tennis. I like it.
Exactly. Will this be the tournament that marks the end of Alcaraz's reign? Or will he come back even stronger because of it? And what about guys like Humbert and Thompson? Are they the future of the sport?
Those are the big questions. And while I don't have a crystal ball, I can say that this tournament has thrown a wrench into all of our predictions. It's created so much uncertainty and excitement. And honestly, that's great for tennis. It keeps things fresh, it challenges the status quo, and it opens the door for new rivalries and storylines.
Yeah, it's like we're watching a whole new generation of players emerge. But, it's not always about winning or losing, is it? I mean, going back to Monfils withdrawing, it was obvious how much this tournament meant to him personally.
Yeah, definitely. It wasn't just about being tired or anything. It was about recognizing what Paris-Bercy meant to him and, ending his journey there on his own terms.
It was powerful.
Yeah.
A reminder that it's not always about the trophy. It's about the journey, the memories, and the legacy you leave behind. Speaking of legacy, think about what this tournament could mean for Jordan Thompson. Reaching the quarterfinals of a Masters 1000 is huge. And it might just launch him into a whole new level of success.
I mean, think about it. It's like making it to the Elite Eight in college basketball. You're one of the top 8 players in the entire tournament. A tournament that has most of the best players in the world, that's a massive accomplishment. It really shows you Thompson's dedication and talent.
And you know what I find inspiring? Is that he seems to be loving every minute of it. You can see the joy and determination on his face. It's like he's playing for everyone who's ever had a dream, everyone who's dared to dream big.
That's the magic of sports, right? It's not just about how good you are. It's about the stories that unfold in front of you, the triumphs, the heartbreaks, the brilliant moments, and the crushing defeats.
I think that's a great takeaway for our listeners today. As we wrap up our deep dive into the Rolex Paris Masters, appreciate the journey appreciate the unpredictable nature of the sport, and just embrace the roller coaster ride that comes with it.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen it all, haven't we? The crazy upsets, young players like Humbert rising to the challenge, and legends like Monfils taking a final bow on this court.
And we've only scratched the surface. There are so many more stories to be told, so much more to happen. Who's going to win it all? Can Alcaraz get back on top? Will Humbert keep climbing? And what about Thompson? Will his amazing run continue?
These are the questions that will keep us coming back for more, but maybe the biggest question of all is, what excites you most about the future of tennis?
That's a great question. The perfect question to leave our listeners with. So keep your eyes on the court, everyone. Embrace all the surprises and twists and turns. And remember, the beauty of tennis is in the journey that gets us there